Hi everyone, this is Mary. Today's video is going to be the first A Reader's Journey TBR for 2024. I actually read quite a lot of books for me, except the majority of them were not on my TBR that I set for December. I'm filming this a few days before the end of the month, so I still have an opportunity to read some of the books on my TBR. But I will talk to you about last month's TBR and tell you which books I've read so far and which books I have not. And the I have not section is longer than the haves. These are the books slash representation of the books that I had on my TBR, and let me go over them. The first book that I had on my TBR was Iron Widow, and that was for a Dionysus prompt where I had to play TBR right. And then I have Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn, and that was for a Poseidon prompt for a book with a blue cover. And then this is my Kindle, and it represented the ebook I had to read, which was Golden Curses by M. Lynn. And then I had an Athena prompt to read a book club book, and that ended up being Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. And then finally, the last prompt I had was a Hermes prompt for a pole pick, and Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan won the pole pick. And out of these books, I've only read Where the Mountain Meets the Moon at the moment. So you can see I read quite a few books, it just wasn't these books. I do hope that I can get to at least Hamnet by the end of the year, but I make no promises. So now that I've explained December's TBR to you, let's go on to the first roll for the January 2024 TBR. First roll is an 8. An Aries prompt, which is hardcover. Okay, so the first prompt for January ended up being an Aries prompt, and I had to pick a book that was a hardcover. And I'm going to once again add Iron Widow to the TBR. One day I will finish this, and hopefully it's January. Now let's go to the second roll. Now the next roll is a 4. Hopefully it's good. Hera prompt. Continue a series. That's a nice one, actually. I need to do that. So the second roll landed us on the Hera space, and that ended up being a prompt to continue a series. And I am going to choose something that might make several people happy, and I'm going to choose Heartless by Elsie Silver. I read Flawless probably sometime in the middle of 2023, and I bought the sequel. Actually, I have Heartless and Powerless, but I haven't gotten to them yet. So January of 2023, it's a possibility I'll read it. Now on to the third roll. And roll 3. A 2. I feel like I hope we get some bigger numbers soon. And that's an Artemis prompt. That's Animal on the cover. It's a fun one. On the third roll, I landed on the Artemis space, and that gave me the prompt of Animal on the cover. And I am going to choose Unhinged by A.G. Howard. This is the second book in a series that's based around Alice in Wonderland. And I read the first one a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it when I read it, but I never continued. For one, I didn't have the series at the time, and for two, I just kind of forgot what Splinter was about. But this is going to be on the thing, and There's not, okay, so there's insects, not technically animals, but I'm counting it. So there's like the moth on his chest, and then there's like some kind of bug right here. And I'm counting the bugs as animals. So I'm going to read this. Now on to the fourth roll. Fourth roll is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I landed on a light brown scroll. So in the fourth roll, I landed on the light brown scroll, and the scrolls represent ebooks, and the light brown scroll means I can choose whatever ebook that I want to on my Kindle. And I chose to continue A Curious Beginning by Diana Rayborn. And this one I actually started before I even started posting videos to this channel again in 2023, but I stopped for some reason or another. I started this book for a video that was going to be my first video back to posting regularly, but I stopped reading this book, so I never really continued, and just it never got finished. But I really loved what I had already filmed for that video, and so I really want to continue it, even though half of the video is like several months old at this point. I really want to get that video out. So this is going to be read in January, and hopefully I can also read the other book that's in that video so that I can finally release that video in what I've already made for it. That is all about that one. So now we gotta go on the fifth roll. Now onto the fifth roll. Please be a bigger number. Please and thank you. It's a 5. Okay, we're gonna have a big TBR, I feel like. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I know what I did wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another Artemis prompt. And it is green cover. So for the fifth roll, I landed on the Artemis space again, and the prompt for this one was green cover, and so I am choosing to read Splintered by A.G. Howard. And if you're paying attention, this is a book that I already read. It's the book right before Unhinged. But as I was saying, I kind of forgot most of what happens in this book from how long ago it's been since I read it. So I would like to reread it before I read Unhinged. Maybe if I am in a really big reading mood in January, I could just finish out the series and read Ensnared as well, which is the last book in the series. We'll find out what happens. Once again, our Alice in Wonderland inspired, but I know I was having a fun time, but I couldn't tell you very much about this book. That's why I'm rereading it, so that I will know what is going on when I pick up Unhinged. Now on to roll 6. Okay, on to the 6th roll. A 10! Yay! Another Aries prompt. A Goodreads rating of less than 3.8. It's gonna be fun to look up. And for roll 6, I landed on an Aries space again, and I got the prompt, a Goodread ratings under 3.8. This was actually harder than I expected, not gonna lie, but I did find something, and it's actually a book that I'm kind of excited to read. And I already knew that there wasn't a lot of people that are liking it, but I really enjoyed the first one. So the book that I'm reading for this prompt is Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. This is a twisted tale novel. These books, they ask a question that changes a Disney story. And this one is, what if the Sleeping Beauty never woke up? We'll see what happened by reading the story. They don't have to be read in order. So while this one is the second one in the series, like it was the second one published, you don't have to read them in order, but I'm the person that has to read them in order. It's just how my brain works. So here you go. This is the next book on my list of books to read. Now on to the 7th roll. Now, hopefully, I am hoping for this to be the last roll. And it is indeed. Yay. We have made it to Mount Olympus. Yes. Okay, the 7th roll got us to Mount Olympus. So that is all the books that are going to be on my TBR for January. Whether I actually read them is up for debate, but I like to have choices. But I really like making these game board TBRs. They're just a fun time to make, even if I don't actually complete the TBRs that I set for myself. Let me do an overview of the books and the prompts that got them to be on my TBR. I just want to say that I think it's funny that I noticed when I was stacking them up that the one that is chosen based off of being a hardcover is the only hardcover that I even have on my TBR. I just think that's funny. As I just said, the Iron Widow was a Aries prompt for a hardcover book. Then we have Heartless, which was continuous series. And then we have Unhinged, which was animal on the cover. And then this represents A Curious Beginning, which was a ebook. Then we have Splintered, which was green cover. And then we have Once Upon a Dream, which was a Goodreads rating under 3.8. I am really excited by this stack of books for January. I am hoping that it's a good start to my year of reading. Hopefully, this book is the first one I pick up. It needs to be, for how many times I've put it on TBRs, whether in my head or in a video. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you had fun with watching me roll and pick the books that I am going to read in January. I hope you have a good reading year. I may or may not see you. I make no promises. Bye.